Good evening, Karina Carvalho with ABC News. Anti-Adani protesters have again hijacked the Premier Annastacia Palaszczuk's election campaign. The disruption overshadowed day 2 of the campaign, where Labor pitched to its health heartland and the LNP promised tax relief for small business. Here's political reporter Josh Bavis.
It came out of left field, yet wasn't entirely unexpected.
So we need to make sure that...
Premier, we just want you to...
Well, there we go. There's an Adani protester there.
He was escorted away. The Premier shrugged it off.
So I expect a bit more of that.
The anti-Adani protesters at her every turn.
Well, thank you for wrecking the Great Barrier Reef. Because that will be the writing on your gravestone, on your headstone.
Okay, thank you.
The Premier's security moved in.
You're getting agitated and you're starting to interrupt.
No, I'm not agitated.
I can see you're upset. Your lips were quivering, your eyes were quivering.
It overshadowed Ms Palaszczuk's $167 million commitment to fund 3,500 more nurses and midwives over the next 4 years.
I did think that a couple of them did get a little bit out of hand. I didn't know whether I was personally going to be tackled. I think, we live in a democracy and people should be respectful.
It's part of the hurly-burly of campaigning in Queensland. Labor should absolutely take the Adani protest on the chin.
The Premier has now moved to Townsville, where she can expect better support for Adani's coal mine. High unemployment has been a key issue here. Adani means jobs here and a shot in the arm for the struggling local economy. Tim Nichols had jobs in mind with a direct pitch for small businesses.
A miracle.
He's promising to lift the payroll tax threshold by $25,000 a year for 10 years as part of a push to create 500,000 jobs.
One of the things that small business hates most is payroll tax.
It's expected to help 14,000 small businesses. The LNP leader boarded a bus for the Lockyer Valley. It was a close call to squeeze under this bridge, a metaphor for the contest he's facing as One Nation gains momentum in the area. Their stocks have been bolstered by Malcolm Roberts, last week a senator, this week the candidate for Ipswich.
Citizenship is not an issue to them. They're saying, well, let's just get on with things and get the country sorted out.
Speaking of new candidates, meet Labor's new pick for Pumicestone, replacing controversial Rick Williams, dumped on Friday.
Oh, look, I think if you wanted to talk what I can offer and what Rick can offer, you should ask Rick, maybe, what he can offer.
A baptism of fire for a fresh-faced candidate.
Josh Bavis is travelling with the Premier's campaign and is in Townsville tonight. Josh, how does Annastacia Palaszczuk appeal to those for and against the Adani project?
Well, Karina, this has been a dilemma that has stalked the Premier for much of her term. And the views in the community are just so strong. If you go to towns like Bowen, they're screaming out for work. Many people there welcoming Adani. But if you go down the road a little further to places like Airlie Beach, some of those green groups and tourist operators are dead against it. But there's also been a split within her own cabinet and her own members. Here in Townsville, though, it has the support of the local mayor, the Labor mayor, Jenny Hill, and the state MPs. And if we go back to the budget, you have to remember the words of the Premier. She said that this year would be about creating jobs, and she's pushing ahead with that plan.
OK, Josh Bavis in Townsville.